Awesome. Today we'll be doing something very interesting, something that I consider as a concerning topic in the minds of youngsters. Every young guy, every young lady wants to understand when to know they are ready for a love relationship. You have had that you should not get into a love relationship too soon. You heard that you should not get into a love relationship because of some certain things. But when exactly is the right time? When exactly is the right age? What exactly should you when how do you know exactly when to get into a love relationship? Today I'll be answering that question for you, and hopefully I believe you will be very blessed and you'll get so much value from it. All right, my name has not changed yet, and I don't think my name will change. I remain Stephen Ode Ejugu, you know, and today I'll be doing a topic, a message I titled How to Be Ready for a Love Relationship. Initially, I intended to title it How to Know When to Be Ready for a Love Relationship. But then I figure it's going to be much easier to just know how to be ready. It doesn't matter when it is. But once you know how to be ready, you can choose that timing for yourself. You can regulate the time either to make it long away from yourself, or you can bring it very fast. You can moderate it so you can get yourself ready now. After listening to this podcast, you can just get yourself ready now, like now, and then get into it. So it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how long you've abstained from it. What matters is knowing how to be ready. Okay, and one thing that I want you to know is this, that you are not ready to date or to get into any love relationship until you are aware of both sides of the coin. A lot of persons just get into it, start doing all of this dating and trial by error, trying to figure out how to do it, how not to do it. Well, some say it's the best way to learn is by trials. Well, I say the best way to learn is to learn from those who know better than you, and then to seek out advantages that their knowledge can give to you, so that you don't necessarily make the same errors and make your life full of excuses and narrations that can be avoided. So, how do you get ready to be in a relationship? Note, I've said already that you are not ready to be in any relationship at all, like any love relationship, anything that has to do with the emotional entanglement, that special chemistry. You are not ready for it until you know and you are aware of the both sides of the coin. So, what is the both sides of the coin? One thing that I would want you to understand is this, that your perception to getting into a relationship matters. It matters a lot. Why are you doing it? Why do you want to do it? Okay, so I often tell people that until you don't need to date or to marry, you are not ready for it. Okay, so the idea is this, until you don't need it. Okay, the moment you begin to consider yourself as being in need of a relationship, of a partner, of a date, like you come to that point where you feel you need it now. You need, well, the some might be of the opinion that the need part of wanting to be in a relationship is important. You need to see that you need it. But I want you to understand something, that the word need is relative in meaning, which means the interpretation can be twisted in light of the context it is used to suit the interpretation that whoever is using it wants. So the word need is relative in meaning. So, but to draw a baseline for the interpretation of that word, you love relationship is not a need, it's a choice. If you have a healthy interpersonal relationship, you will understand better that having someone to date is not a need as per something that you must do or that you have to do to find fulfillment and satisfaction. It's a choice, it's not a need, it's not a compulsory factor, it's a necessity that you can choose to embrace or choose to do away with. Just like if you have any base knowledge in economics, you know there is opportunity for gone, there is alternative for gone. Okay, so it brings to mind that this is a choice. You considered a few things and then you put it at no, 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 I'm putting this away. I don't think I'm ready for this, or I don't think I want to do this now. It's a choice. Dating, marriage, love relationship, all of that corner is a choice. Everything you do there is choice based. Okay, so I coined out a few acronyms for the word need. So if you have a pen, you can just put it down. You have the N, you have the E, and the D. The first N, I put it to mean not. Then the E's. Okay, let me just state it straight away. That not efficient, not efficiently empowered, just desperate and dependent. Okay, so the N stands for not, the E, first E is for efficiently, and the second E is empowered, and the last D stands for desperate and dependent. So all put together, like I earlier said, is when you have the need perspective to, or the need approach to dating, to love relationship, or to marriage, it means in your subconscious you are not efficiently empowered, you are just desperate and dependent, and so you are looking for someone to latch upon, to leverage your inadequacies so that you don't look like you are expendable. Okay, so your insecurity, you want to go and hide it behind someone else's name, and all of your troubles and your lapses, you just want to package it and go dump it at someone else's backyard, because need brings desperation. Need brings dependency, unhealthy level of dependency. So when you begin to feel, it brings anxiety. It brings you to a point where you are not totally in touch with all of the modalities that is necessary to be put in place before you consider dating, marriage, and love relationship. So until you don't need to date, until you realize you don't need it, you can do away with it. It's a choice. And before you can come to that junction of perspective, you must have understand some few things, some separate things. You must have some pillars. You must have been a single to be able to come to that conclusion that you don't necessarily need anybody to make you feel any special. You are special all by yourself. You are complete. You are whole. You are unique all by yourself. You are a total package. You are an 100% all by yourself. It has nothing to do with the guy or the lady that is coming into your life. If she comes, fine. If she doesn't come, that's okay. You are still a complete 100%. You are a single. And it is at that junction that you now have the mental stability to be able to say you want to take that as a next step. Else, if it is on a need base, even if you tell every other person outside that you don't need to, you don't, inside yourself, deep within yourself, you understand this, that if it is a need-based approach that you are giving it, then it only means that due to everything around you, your background, your experience, and everything, you are not efficiently empowered. You are just desperate and dependent. But that can be straightened up. That can be straightened up. That's why this after at the end of this, you would have known how to get yourself ready. So once you know that, you know, okay, to get myself ready, you need to put aside all of these things, you straighten that corner, and then you are just one step better and closer to being ready. One thing I want you to know is this, that talking about being single, being complete, if you grow up and if you are not an atheist, it means you are of a faith, you are of a religion. And if any religion at all, if you are of any religion at all, it means you grew up knowing that the world was created by God and that God made man. And by that, I'm trying to say that the whole human race was started with a single man. It didn't start with a couple, although the religious sectors, in trying to propagate the good news for marriage and the need for marriage, have said that the world started with a couple. No, the human race did not start with a couple. The human race started with a single man, one single individual, one man. And after a while, in the course of his journey, in the course of his pilgrimage and sojourn on the earth, it was considered fit for him to be assisted so that it does not remain alone. But that was not how it started. It started with one man, one individual, one single person. I'm sure you get the point already. That for your life to get started, for your life to have a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, for you to do anything worthwhile in life, you don't need a mate. A mate should come to amplify what you have doing already. A mate should come and increase and multiply and help you facilitate what you have going already. Your life should not be on a full stop until a mate comes. So if you want to go for a dinner, you should not wait for someone to take you for a dinner. You should take yourself out for a dinner. If you want to go hang out, you should go hang out. You should not wait for a guy to take you out before you know how to hang out. If there are places in your locality that you don't know, but you know your area has a good spot, then you go figure those places out. Don't wait until a beautiful guy or a beautiful girl comes around and then you now plan a date or an hangout together. No, that is putting your life on a total hold until a special individual comes in. It means you are not efficient. It means you are desperate. You are dependent. You know, the crude word to use for that will be that, let me skip that. But that is what it means. So the whole human race and human existence began with one individual. So your life is only as meaningful as your singleness is. Let me take that again. Your whole existence will only be as meaningful as your single life is. So if you don't have a successful single life, the chances of having a successful marriage or a successful relationship, a love relationship, is slim, because you carry into that relationship what you are as an individual. Remember, in our past videos, I've already stated that nothing changes. Let's assume you are already courting and you're about to get married. Nothing changes on the altar of solemnization. When the priest declares you husband and wife, man and woman, it doesn't change anything. You are still entering that marriage as individuals. So if you don't understand that, then there will be a problem. But your marriage will be so meaningful and beautiful if your single life is rich and meaningful. So lastly, I take it that your life is only as meaningful as your singleness is, as your single life is. Okay, so if you have a rich single life, then your marriage, your dating relationship, your love relationship, your partner will enjoy you, because that is still the same thing you carry into it. Okay, so the idea is this: regard dating as a choice. and then you are ready for it. Regard marriage as a choice and you are ready for it. Regard love relationship as a choice and then you are just closer to getting ready for it. You understand? All of these, regard it as a choice. If you understand that all of this is a choice, you are not in it because your mom told you that you are too old to be staying in a house and she wants you to get married. If you are not in any relationship because you are intimidated and pressured by the society and your folks, that you are of age and you are the only person around who doesn't know how to sleep around with a girl, who doesn't have a fuck mate, who doesn't, if this, if that is not your angle, you, then it means you are seeing it as a choice. That everyone is doing it doesn't mean you should be doing it. That everyone is into it doesn't mean you are meant to be into it. The same way you don't take drugs because everyone else is taking drugs. It's prevalent, it's almost normal that an average youth is on drugs, one type or the other. But I'm very sure that if you are not taking drugs till now, it's not because you don't have people who have talked you into trying it. It's because you consider it a choice. So if you consider some aspects of your life a choice, now you now see this aspect of dating and relationship and marriage as something that is somehow without your reach and control. That it's like there are some external factors that are more powerful than your will, then something is wrong. It means you are breaking. Something is wrong. Regard dating, regard love relationship, regard marriage as a choice, and you are just closer to getting ready for it. Okay. So the truly single, this is a catch. The if you, in case you're wondering, how do you know when you are ready? Okay, what are the characteristics of someone that is single? Because now we have been talking about being single, singleness, whole and complete, all of those. How do you describe yourself as a single? Is it, now you already know that to be single is not just because you are not in a relationship, because even after you get into a relationship, after you get a boyfriend, after you get a girlfriend, after you get married, you are still supposed to remain single. You are still supposed to remain single. You are not supposed to trade your singleness for anything. Whatever tries to corrupt your singleness is going to corrupt every other thing. Okay, so in marriage, in an affair, or outside marriage and outside an affair, you are supposed to remain single. Does that mean that when you are married, you should two join together and becoming one? Is that not old? It is olden, but you are still a unique individual. You are still single. You retain that individuality that helps you to relate better. When you try to amalgamate the two of you together, you produce a chemical soup that may not be very sweet. Okay, so the truly single, those that I consider to be truly single, are physically complete, they are emotionally healthy. A truly single is spiritually alive, and they are intellectual without dependence upon anyone else. That does not mean you don't require help. That does not mean, but by saying intellectual without dependence means you are mature. Remember, in one of our videos, I stated that test for maturity begins when you come to a point where you are no longer looking for a rescue team. You've come to that point where you understand that the rescue team is not going to come, the lifeguard is not going to come, no one is coming to your aid. You are all in this alone and you need to figure a way out. You take responsibility. Singles, those that are truly single, take responsibility. They are intellectually capable, without dependence. So they are not looking out, they are not in a ship and they're looking out for some lifeguard to come rescue them. Someone, you don't relegate responsibility for someone else that they are coming for you. Someone's going to come for you. No one's coming, and until you realize that, your journey is still far away from starting. Okay, so singles those that are completely single, truly single, are physically complete. What do I mean by physically complete? It's not just about the biology of your body, the positions of organs, and all of those. You are physically complete. You are physically, I guess I might lack the word to describe what else should be physical aside from the organs. Because when you talk of physical and body, the first thing that comes to thought is, okay, the organs. No. Aside from the organs, you are physically, you are healthy, you have a body fitness. If you know you are obese, you are on diet by yourself. If you know you have some kind of condition, you are working on it and are working at it. Okay, so you are not just a lying liability. Okay, so you are physically fit. Physically, talk of your hair, you are kept. Talk of your environment, you're clean. Talk of your body, you're neat. Just physically complete. You are not waiting for someone to tell you to trim your nails or to get yourself tidied or to press your clothes or to take your shirts to laundry. You are physically complete. Physically complete. The next thing is to be emotionally healthy. Some people are an emotional mess. I told you my friend is in the chemistry world and all of those. One of them told me that by their research, they've concluded that a whole human being from head to toe is just a combination of some chemicals, and then we are just a chemical soup. Every time you are doing something, you are laughing, you are happy, you are sad, whatever it is you are doing, it's just some chemical soup that is just being served. Okay, so you are emotionally stable, you are emotionally balanced, you are emotionally healthy, you are not an emotional mess. You understand? You are not an emotional chaos. You are not an emotional disaster walking on two legs. Okay, so you are not a bunch of sad stories only. Okay, so be emotionally healthy. That is, each of these are something that can take lots of time to expound on. But to cut it simple and to cut it brief, be emotionally healthy. If you have some persons to forgive, make sure you forgive them. Revenge is a poison that is meant for others, but you end up serving yourself. Okay, so if you have some offenses to let go, let them go. Okay, if you have some worries to abandon, do that quickly, because worries meet you full and leaves you empty. By the time you start worrying, you're full on energy, you're full on visions, you're full on everything. But by the time you are done worrying, everything is seeped out. Like you are so drained out, there's no way for you to get back up. So there is no use getting worried or beating yourself over anything. If you can't fix it, then move on to the next thing that you can fix. While you research and work around getting the other one fixed, then you move on, make progress. Don't be an emotional mess. Okay, so spiritually alive, you need to understand this, that it's not a choice for you. Life is spiritual. Science is coming to that understanding gradually. But for those of us that are of the faith, you grow up with some religious upbringing and you have some form of religious training, you understand that life is spiritual. It has nothing to do with devils, but it has everything to do with connectivity. Life is spiritual. The closest thing science is bringing up is that there is a universe somewhere, and then you are a part of that universe. You are connected, and when you make a desire, science is still coming, but some enlightened ones have come up speed already. But life is spiritual. Be spiritually alive. It's important. It's important that you understand that life is spiritual. If you have that level of spiritual intelligence already, good for you. Otherwise, you might want to have some personal talk with some persons. Okay, so we've talked about the intellectual part of it, where you have to make sure that you are balanced, you are ready, you are prepared, you are good to go. You are not a baby who always waits until being instructed and told to do something. You are not a kid, a baby who is always looking for someone to come do something for them. You are independent in taking responsibility for your life. Okay, in taking responsibility, and then you when you mature long enough and mature more and more, you will realize that your maturity will push you out of being responsible for yourself into being responsible for others. So although you once upon a time you used to wait for the lifeguard and the rescue team to come, now you have grown. You are no longer waiting for the rescue team because you know none is coming. But now, just a little further from that, you would grow to realize that, okay, you know the rescue team can come. Okay, and is not coming. So why not make yourself the rescue team for others? And then you turn to a volunteer lifeguard for people in whatever area you, and that is how it begins. Okay, so we can go on and that. But this is where I want to wrap up on this podcast. And this is the corner piece of everything we've been talking about. So, in trying to be ready, in knowing how to be ready for a love relationship, you must also know what to look out for in the person you want to go into a love relationship with. You must. I can't overemphasize this, that you cannot afford to be in a relationship with someone you don't know. You need to know what to look out for. It's not just to know that he is handsome. It's not just to know that his pocket is full. It's not just to know that he has a good back, his parents are good, or he has. You need to know him as an individual. Remember, he is a single coming to meet you, a single. It has nothing to do with his parents or his background, even though that has a lot of factors to do. For those factors should be considered. But more importantly, him or her as an individual that you want to have a relation, you want to commit a period of your time and your life to. It's important for you to know what to look out for. The first thing that I want you to look out for is the presence. Okay, we're talking about this first thing now. It's divided into two because of those that have religious knowledge and they have a religion and they know that there is a being called God. Okay, and for those who don't believe and don't want to, who call all of those superstition, there is still a scientific part of it that is very proven. Okay, so let me take it first from this side of those that have religious background that believe that there is God. This is important. Every man, if he's a lady or if he's a guy, you must look out for the presence of his God, the God he claims he worship. He should have a signature, something that identifies him with his God. If he says he's a Muslim, is this someone that believes in his God? Is this someone that prays to his God? Is this someone that worships his God? Is this someone that offers services according to the lines and guidance of his religious book? If he says he's a Christian, the same thing goes. Does he smell like his God? Does he look like his God? Does he act the way his God asks that his people should act and to behave and to conduct themselves? The same goes for those of other religions, the Jews, the Hindus, and all the other religions. Look out for the presence, the trait of the presence of his God. Everyone is a representation of their belief. And if he says he is a believer of something or someone, then there should be an aura, a signature of what he believes and what he claims or who he claims to have been serving for so many years. There should be a trait and a signature. If you can't find it, then you are just about to land yourself with a swindler, a player, or something. That's the first thing. Okay, so for those that are without, the consciousness of God, and maybe God may exist or not, this is it. Everyone goes around with an aura. That's why we call it presence. Everyone has an aura, a kind of atmosphere that envelopes them. Some people just have a negative atmosphere no matter what. You can't shake it up. They come into your space, and no matter what the joyful noise is, everything swings down if they are so concentrated that much. No matter how you try, no matter what you are doing, no matter what you are trying to do, it doesn't make any sense when they are around. Everything just go down tune. Everything just go down tune. You just know, for whatever the reason is, they just can't be a lasting joy when they're around. But the moment they walk out, or a slightest second after they are not available or they are not on seat, everything looks like taking life back again. It's like they just come, their presence just kills everything. Okay, so look out and know, because you cannot say that love is blind and then you embrace such persons. It is going to be to your own detriment, because such persons, they may not know it themselves, but they are going to you are going to be sabotaging your life in order to keep such persons until they fight it, figure it out, and improve on themselves and improve on that. You should avoid such persons. Generally people call them joy killers, and lots of varieties of names for such persons. But look out for the presence that the individual brings along. Okay, so when you are seated, how does things rotate? Maybe you have a joyful moment, or you have a dream, you have a vision, and somehow the moment they hear of it, everything begins to work negative, everything begins to go wrong, no matter how much you try. But you've noticed that the dreams and visions and ideas you did not get to share with them succeed and were successes. But the ones you get to share with them, somehow something just happened, and there are not too many things that can be called coincidence in life. This thing I'm telling you now, called the presence, is one of it. So take note of it, and then your life will be more peaceful than you've ever imagined. Okay, the second thing I want you to look out for in whoever you want to get into a serious relationship with, a love, dating, and marriage relationship with, is a walk. I've already told you that man started this human race as a single, and the reason for that was because he got a walk. He's got a walk. He's got a walk. A man who does not have a walk is a dangerous man. Not necessarily a paying salary, but it needs to have a work. Either something is working on to start, or something is already doing. Okay, so but basically in this side, in this perspective, I'm not necessarily talking about a job. A job is different from a work. A work, okay, from my dictionary though, a work is not necessarily something that brings you monthly income. It can bring you income too, but not necessarily something that brings you income. It could be a vision, a plan, an idea. It could be, purpose. It could be destiny. It could be something, some kind of engagement that brings satisfaction beyond the pay, beyond the cash, beyond the money. So that's how to describe work. So if you look at the guy, does he have anything? Is all they do only about money? If everything they do is all about money and only about money, something is wrong, because a job is different from a work. He should have a job because he should be able to take care of your needs, or you should be able to take care of our needs. So you should be able to meet financial needs, pay the bills, and but it's not only about money. So there should be something else that gives him satisfaction, that gives him joy, that makes him feel fulfilled, even if he doesn't get paid for it. That is a work. So you should help him prune it, you should help him do it. You should find him doing it. If he's got none and there's none in his memories or in his heart, you should help him figure one out. If there is none, then you know it's worth working on. But it's important because money can fail. It is the thing that gives you satisfaction that would remain. Everything else can go down. But your sense of satisfaction and fulfillment outside of cash can only be sustained not by the cash flow, not by the cash flow only, you know. So that is it. So you should look out for the work that he has, both the job, the paying work, and the non-paying work. Something should be there, something should be there, and eventually both is supposed to be there to maintain the balance, the paying and the non-paying. Okay, so that is that. Then you should look out for the protector in him. Every man is built to be a protector. Okay, so but some people have relegated that part of the responsibility, but the intuitive part of every male child and every man is to protect their partner, is to protect the people around them. So naturally a man is a defender or a protector. So is he looking for ways to protect you, to protect your joy from seeping out, to protect you from getting out, so he should be a protector. Is he a protector? Yes, then that's a check. Is he a protector? No. He just tries to expose you and make you more vulnerable, and uncheck that. That's a red flag. Okay, so you look also, is he a cultivator? Is he a cultivator, or is she a, okay, now I'm talking about the male now, because all of these things I just listed out, the cultivator is for the male. The male should be a cultivator. The male should be a protector. The male should have a work, but not only the male, the female too should have a work. Okay, the presence, both parties this is applicable to both parties, but the protector part of it should be for the male. The male should be a protector, and he should be a cultivator too. So to replace that for the ladies, the lady should be, in the place of protector, should be an helper. A helper, someone that assists, someone that provides support. So you don't leave him to himself. As he's fighting to protect you, you are supporting. That's why every time in the history of man, when men go to war, women are always meant to be their nurses. Women are always made to be their helper, to make food meal for them, to take care of their needs, other needs, while they are risking their life to defend the city, to defend the territory, to protect the people of their lands in their environment. The women are always made to, or the women always even joyfully volunteer to meet the other needs. So they provide support for their other needs while they are risking their life in the field to protect them. So you should be a supporter. If you are not a supporter, or if your lady is not a supporter, or your intended lady is not a supporter, does not have the attribute of, it's not difficult to find out the traits of a supporter. If someone is a supporter from the very first day you meet, it's going to be obvious. It's like an addiction. They are meant to be like that. But if that is missing, red flag. If it is there, check it. That's good. Okay, for a cultivator, a lady or a woman, cultivator for a man, like the agricultural term, cultivator, someone that's not, that cultivates. So he's someone that cultivates, that plants, that ensures that that do the work of a cultivator. Now, the lady should be a nurturer. Women are nurturers. Okay, so if the lady is a nurturer, the man is a cultivator. If he cultivates, she goes to nurture it. So the man can say in the home, this is how I want, this is what I want. And the woman ensures that what the man has said stands, and what he has said sees expression in the home. Okay, so she is to help nurture the home. That's why a home is not built by a home can be built by a man, but it is made by a woman. So he can build the home, but he cannot make it. It takes a woman to make it, because making is a nurturing work, and that is not part of the build of a man. Okay, so if he is the cultivator, the woman is supposed to be a nurturer. Okay, nurturer like an incubator. Nurturer like an incubator. Okay, so you will put the seed there, and then she ensures that she provides the atmosphere, the condition for that seed to gain life and to grow up into manifestation. All right, so the last thing you want to look at in your partner as a male, if he is a male, is he a teacher? Your man is supposed to be able to teach you things that you don't know. He's supposed to teach you, not bully you. Some guys are bullies. Some guys are supposed to be detained for bullying ladies. But that's okay if they go scot-free with it. But if I get a chance to meet such persons, they are in soup. Okay, but a guy is supposed to be a teacher, someone that can instruct you, someone that can teach you, that can guide you. He should be a teacher, someone that can bring you understanding of things that you don't know as much as he knows. Okay, so, and that is that. So if he is a nurturer, if she is a nurturer, then he should be a teacher. He should be able to teach you, to bring you understanding. If you are both from the same faith, he should know just enough or more than you to be able to teach you and bring you perspective of the God you worship, bring you understanding and teach you. And then if you are from different faith, or you have some diversity of skills and knowledge, there should be a common ground where he can teach you some things. But the woman is supposed to be teachable too. So don't just make it all up that he's trying to force himself on you and all of these things. The man's role is to teach. A man always feels good when he instructs, when he teaches, when he's given a chance. Even though he flops, even though he messes up, he still feels good that he got a chance to pass knowledge, to give someone a knowledge, to tell someone to do something, to give instruction, to bring understanding, and to bring light to another person. And that is it. Okay, so one thing that you must know, one last things that you must know is this: that you should never preoccupy yourself with who you want to be, that you forget who you are already. Remember, you are not supposed, never preoccupy yourself with who you want to be, that you now forget who you are already. It's important for you to figure that out. You need to know it, you need to understand it, you need to embrace it, that this is who you are now. It's not so much about who you want to be. If you lose touch with who you are now, you may never arrive where you want to be. Okay, so the only way to arrive where you want to be, or to become who you want to be, is now, who you are now. You must come to terms with who you are now, embrace who you are now, accept the fact that this is what you have now, and this is what you can do now. The present reality must be one with you. It's very important. Very important. Okay, so here are the tips and the tools, the skills and the know-hows to get yourself ready for that beautiful and amazing love relationship or marriage that you are looking for, or that you are about to step into. I look forward to hearing from you again from now, immediately, as you're hearing this. And if you're not yet subscribed, I want you to hit the subscribe button, give your support. I really will appreciate it if you do that now. Just hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified every single moment I upload a new teaching series. Okay, then like this video, and if you have gotten value, if you are blessed, you love what you've heard, then try your best. Ensure that you share it with someone that you love, someone that you appreciate. Maybe you are looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Share it with that prospective girlfriend and boyfriend you have. Maybe you are in a courtship. Share it with your partner. Maybe you are in a relationship, not necessarily leading to dating and marriage, but just share it with someone you love. Okay, so that they can also be part of this and be blessed just as much as you are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. See you again next time.